When it comes to braiding, when did braiding begin, would you say? Because it's something I didn't see quite in the 70s or 80s. It was afros back then. It was maybe jerry curls. Both men and women wore jerry curls back then. When did that start coming prevalent?
They were braiding in the late 60s, early 70s. Did you ever watch Soul Train?
I've seen Soul Train. I got like pigtails. I mean, I know like Pippi Longstocking.
They had long braids like what we are making today.
They had the 30 inches?
Yes.
Real life. It ain't real life. Just ain't real. Real life street stars. You know what time it is.
So I want to speak on braiding, the method of braiding. And this is going to be a detailed conversation in regards because there's so many layers to it. And I want to say, I'm a little younger. I was first introduced to, braids. That what made it famous was Poetic Justice, where Janet Jackson, who we normally see Rhythm Nation, Bob Cut. It's almost like if I would have seen like Whitney Houston with cornrows or something, it'd have been amazing. But Janet Jackson kind of really brought just the braid and
box braids.
The box
what we're
braids,
doing right
and,
today.
the fact that the movie was based on her
Poetic Justice braids.
Yeah, the Poetic Justice braids. She was working in the hair salon, and she was very, it was very woman. It was very black woman celebrating hair in that movie,
and femininity, and sexuality, and sensuality, all of that.
Shout out! It's funny because I would love to have seen Maya Angelou with braids. I would love to have seen it. When it comes to braiding, when did braiding begin, would you say? Because it's something I didn't see quite in the 70s or 80s. It was afros back then. It was maybe jerry curls. Both men and women wore jerry curls back then. When did that start coming prevalent?
They were braiding in the late 60s, early 70s. Did you ever watch Soul Train?
I've seen Soul Train. I got like pigtails. I mean, I know like Pippi Longstocking.
They had long braids like what we are making today.
They had the 30 inches?
Yes. They had the 30 inches back then.
I got to go find a picture.
Man, you got to find it because that's what inspired me. Okay. But braids, even with Janet Jackson, the braiders are not skilled enough to know how to braid without making it so heavy. Even with her braids, everybody's trying to mimic Janet Jackson's look, but they don't have the type of strands. And Janet shouldn't be doing it either because she definitely has soft strands as well. But the thick braids is what a lot of people are asking for even today. Give me the box braids. Give me the bohemian braids. Yes. I want the Poetic Justice braids. So all these different names are coming up. But everybody's hair strands cannot sustain that amount of weight. So there's way too much hair on your head. So you got to braid where the weight is even. I call it weight compatibility.
So where does it start? Because I see a woman, even men, when it comes to locks, trying to grab hair that ain't there.
I don't know why they do that.
And I'm like, when I see it being pulled, once the braid is completed, and I'm like, I see it, the gravity of it pulling down, it's like, much. I don't know how long this is supposed to last.
It's not. You see, when you see women with the braids, cornrows going back, just look at the top of the braids and you'll see like follicles. That's pulled right from the roots sitting there. We used to call it dandruff. We didn't know any better. Braiding our hair, leaving it up for 7 and 8 months. People still doing that. I'm like, that was back in the late 70s. Early 80s, we were just loving the fact that we could braid our hair and that we can look different and we can look exotic and we can be pretty with braids. But we weren't thinking about the health and the wellness of that particular technique. So how it started is us Black Americans, I don't know what you want to call us. If I say African Americans, you're going to think about
you're gonna have some people
from Nigeria and Ghana. We were the ones that started the whole braiding concept. Right, doing the Angela Davis time, doing that time when brothers and sisters were, Black Power. We were the ones that were braiding. And we did back in the day when I was young too. It wasn't the Africans that came over and and braided hair. They saw us braiding hair. Now they dominate the industry with braiding now. They came over working with cars and being insurance people and, doing some other stuff. But they weren't interested in braiding at all. So that goes to the sisters out there, and I really want these sisters to show up at my parade and my festival, my crown parade and festival coming up.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about it. We're definitely going to go all the way through there.